I think we're live. So hey, if anyone is joining, do drop a question down below. Let me know where you're calling from. But Thomas Parkinson, fast track FBA, as my girlfriend says, what's up, Amazon sellers? Woohoo! She's smiling at me right now. Absolutely amazing. What's going on in my world? Well, Amazon sales are okay, still okay. We are playing with the repricer. I think, to be honest, we're probably slowing the sales down. And the reason why is because it's still not that peak week. This is kind of like the early first part of the week. If you want to see the month to date, I'll show you. Let's get it right, Tom. There we go. You can kind of see the month to date. 225,000 so far in the UK. You can see it's built up. By the way, obviously this is today and this is start of the month. So it has built up, definitely built up. And the idea is that, although to be honest, like what's the time now? It's probably, I think it's probably right. So like now it's probably about 9 o'clock at night in the UK. And we've probably done about the same revenue as we do most of the time. So this week, you can see week to date, pretty static. Month to date, last 30 days, you can definitely see it there. So it's picked up. Definitely, you can see that increase, but it still hasn't gone like, oh my God, it's crazy. That'll be like week 2, week 3 of December. Let's have a quick look through. So it's going to be really like, I'd probably say it's going to be next week and then maybe the week after. That's it. Next week will be the week it really goes bang. FBA Gangster has joined us on Instagram. Hey, FBA Gangster. Oh, one second. I'm just going to turn off my headset. I'm going to go quiet for a second. And we're back. Cool. So you should be able to hear me. And so FBA Gangster on Instagram. Let me know if you've got any questions or anything I can answer for you. And also as well, if anyone's got any questions on YouTube, Twitch, or whatever, drop them down below. I will answer them. If you've ever followed me, I have quite a good habit of answering a lot of questions. I'm sure FBA Gangster is going to go, what's up, bruv? And I'm like, I'm so not gangster. It's quite hilarious. So let's kind of go through. So obviously picking up there. Now, a couple of other things, if I kind of talk you through, is I will just kind of load it up. I want to go, yo, Mr. Bean, Mr. Gangster says. Thank you very much. Jack Knowles has joined as well. Hey, Jack, looking forward to catching up with you tomorrow. I just want to talk you through numbers so far for my team. My USA team have not been doing particularly well on cashback. And also as well, I've just been booking flights to the Philippines, which is like really far away from Mexico. Give me 2 seconds. So if I just get the numbers up for the week to date, obviously you've got questions dropping down below. What do we got here? So, by the way, if let me know if the fan's annoying you. It's quite hot here. It's 28 degrees C. So I know. So if you want to kind of know, my team has spent, I will kind of show it to you. I'll show the stats. This is the stats so far week to date. I can probably read it off. So it says total available spend 20,000. This is USA, and then purchase values. By the way, what day is it? It's Thursday. It's at 19,000 already. Cashback's only $192. It's like nothing. I want some more cashback. ROI 36.74. So USA is looking okay. 36.74. I'll take that. Maybe probably convert about 30%. That's okay. Drop 5 percentage points off it. What are we looking at on the UK? By the way, these are updates for my team. I'll give you the update on where we're at so far. This is spend. Oh my God, I've got too many reports. And okay, so coming in now. So this is one of my purchasing managers. I'm about to sneeze. Please excuse me. I'm so about to sneeze. There we go. Done. So this is my UK. There's like 5 purchases. So they kind of go through. So if you can probably see it there. Total purchase value for the week is about 70,000. If I kind of hide, will it focus on this? Maybe. There you go. It's about 70,000 right there. You can see it. 70,000. We've got about 74,000 left to spend. ROI is about 25%. Get it right, Tom. There you go. 25.6%. So if you want to know, cashback's a little bit better. £1,209 for one. That's 1 week. 70,000 for the week, and we've got 1,009. So really like that. That's good. So 25% will probably convert out about 20%. I'm happy with that. That's good. Let's kind of jump over some questions. If you are on Instagram, do drop me a hi, drop me a like. I can see you here, and if you're on the chat, I can see you as well. So let's kind of go through. Jump over to Instagram, Mr. Bean. Oh no, sorry, FBA Gangster. Get it right, Tom. FBA Gangster says, "Yo, Jack Knowles is in. How much apparel or sportswear do you do?" I don't really do. We don't do much. Like, it'll be less than 25% of my inventory. And you got to think like we're doing, so like shoes, clothing, USA, by the way, if anyone's selling on UK, USA is massive on shoes. It's a really big market. So we kind of do like, I reckon it'd be less than 25, maybe even down to 10% of my inventory. And that's probably why my margins are lower than a lot of other sellers. Like a good friend of mine, Gavin Sweeney, he'll kind of rock out a good like 60% ROI, which I'm like, oh my God, 30% margin, which I won't, but we just don't have the high returns. And also as well, we don't have to do specialist prep centers, and it's easier to like scale up, whereas shoes is a lot more technical, if that kind of makes sense. So we don't really do too much apparel. Also as well, you can say, what do you think about Nike? I have no problem, but we don't really do apparel, or I should say clothing, sportswear, shoes. It's not really a big thing of ours. So look, I will be honest, I don't really do any purchasing. I don't do any purchasing, any reviewing or anything. I kind of look at the numbers. And sometimes when I see like a product selling wrong, I'm looking at it going, do I think there's a real problem? Like not so much, but like we do it. My team do them, but it's not huge. It's probably less, between 10 and 25%. That's it. It's not much of our USA business. FBA Gangster, let me know down below if that answers your question. Guys on Zach Sugar and Spice, hey Zach Sugar and Spice, massive action. Sean Gilbert, woohoo! Have sales dropped, Tom? Our sales dropped yesterday. Very confused. Sean, no, not at all. I showed it just a minute ago. I'll show you now. Look, this is you. Oh, I'm going to turn it sideways. Even better. Oh, look at that. You can see sales have not dropped. If I turn it that way, it looks a bit better. There you go. They're definitely gone up. Like exactly the same. No problem. And by the way, we've not we've tweaked the repricer in the US, but we've not tweaked it in the UK. And yeah, we've not tweaked it at all. So the UK, we're just kind of running it as is. Nothing's really changing. Sales are going through. We're kind of holding on. Next week we might start playing with it. But yeah, sales are fine. There's no problem there. Is it your repricer? That's the question I'd ask. Is it your repricer? Is that the problem going on? So let me know, Sean, if you think it's maybe your repricer, and also if it is, what repricer are you using? Would be a good one. Obviously, if anyone wants to know, we're using SDK Seller Toolkit. So that's really good one. Oh, one question for you guys, if you do want to know, or if you do want to, I'd love to know if there's anyone you recommend I should interview to put in, maybe to bring onto the live, or perhaps maybe do onto the YouTube channel, or let me know. So do let me know downstairs. Dan King, how does VAT registered affect your OA business? So I started off VAT registered. When I started Amazon, I was VAT registered, and it really cut probably, like it didn't make, we didn't know because obviously we didn't do it. The one thing which I would say is you can, like a lot of people talk about like an 8% drop in your net profit. It's not like you were making 10% and now you're making 2%. No, you'll see an 8% off the top, come out of it. It does affect, I won't lie, because obviously you're now paying more taxes than you're going to be reclaiming, if that makes sense. Yes, you can reclaim that off the cost of goods. You've also got to pay it. So it's really like knocking, I don't know, I can't give you the exact figure. It depends on your product mix. So a lot of people do that. So I think that's one thing, like it will affect it. It creates your administration goes up. That's the one big thing we've done. We've hired like 6, we've got, in the UK, when we do $1 million, we probably have 2 admin VAs because getting invoices and that is such a pain. You don't have it in the US. It's so much easier. So number one, you got to do MTD, Making Tax Digital, obviously with accountant. So Xero or QuickBooks. That's Making Tax Digital. Number 2, you got to get all the invoices, which is a pain. Number 3, you probably recommend hiring an admin VA. Number 4, it does affect your P&L. Number 5, if you are about to go VAT registered, start sourcing now with your VAT numbers in. I cannot stress that enough. You've got to be sourcing with your VAT numbers in. It's so key. Otherwise, you're just gonna, you're gonna buy product now which isn't profitable, and then when you come to resell it next, after you've registered, it's gonna be like, oh, like it's not profitable, and it always wasn't because you knew you were going to get that registered. So do it now. Dan King, let me know if there's any like specific questions you've got or any advice you want around it. But you do get to claim 20% on your cost of goods for everything which is VAT registered paid. Mr. Sean Gilbert said, no, the fan is fine. Thank you, Sean. I don't know if you can even hear it. So FBA Gangster on Instagram. Sean, let me know what's going on with your sales, by the way. I want to know. That's massive action. So they've not crashed, really not crashed at all. FBA Gangster on Instagram. I am here. You can see me if you're on Instagram. Do drop a comment, a question. I can see you. He says, so it does make sense for 25% of major allocation. Yeah, I agree if it is 25%, but I don't know the allocation. I'd say it would be no more than 25% towards shoes. So of my USA business, no more than 25% of it is in shoes or clothing. But we do have, she said no more than 25% in shoes and clothing, but what we do have is, I think it could be between 10 and 25%. So that will kind of help you understand what's going on, like kind of getting a good feel for it. And again, Mr. FBA Gangster on Instagram down here, you can see it. If you're on Instagram, do drop me a message. I talk to people, different people on Instagram. Mr. FBA Gangster said, and yeah, shoes might be harder to scale. Yeah, I completely understand. Like, if you follow my journey, the one thing I always talk about within, the way I approach this business is that I really don't want to build a business that only I can always operate. Maybe I might want to sell something. I'm not saying I'm going to sell my arbitrage business because there's a question around whether you can or not. But what I would want to do is I might want to let it run and take a break from it, just let it do its thing. But if I'm always needed, then what's the benefit of building a business? That's effectively a job. I don't want to build a job, especially I don't want to build a £3 million a year job where I've got to support staff and I'm required. My God, I'm the worst person ever. I have no kind of I work really hard and then I stop. If people require for me to do something consistently, I'm the worst. So when we talk about shoes, April kind of scaling up and what FBA Gangster is talking about, I think one of the major things I'm always thinking about is scalability, the ability to operate. I'm really after a cash flow business. And one of the things which I'm going to probably make a video about this month, is just trying to think about my plans for next year. And if you want to know, one of my plans next year is to get into property and to buy property. So I'm really looking at probably trying to take out about 150,000 out of the company. I'll probably go buy 2 or 3 properties, maybe in the US or in the UK. I don't really know, some little rental apartments. I don't really know, just that amount of cash. Leverage it up to as much as I can through loans and mortgages. But I think that'd be a really good thing. And the reason is I just want to asset diversify. We've got a good cash flow generation machine right now. I could grow it even more, but I think twice in 2 7-figure businesses is pretty good. Let's take some of the money out and do that. FBA Gangster, let me know if you've got any more questions on the Instagram. If you're on Instagram, let me know. Let's kind of go through. Dan King on the YouTube. Hey guys, perfect. Thanks, really helpful. Buying from retailers, you pay price plus VAT as VAT registered. Do you receive that VAT back? Maybe there are a couple of months I need to prep for this. Yeah, you don't. What you got to kind of realize is whether you buy from retailers or wholesalers, wherever you buy from within the UK, you are always paying VAT. If you're a UK company buying from anyone in the UK, you always pay that. You physically pay it. So if you're paying something now from a retailer or a wholesaler, you're already paying the price plus VAT. It's just that the person who sells it then pays that money that you paid to the VAT man as part of the tax return. Now, what you do is hopefully you buy something for $10, which you pay 20% on. Let's call it £2 or £10. So you pay £2 VAT. And then you're probably going to sell it for 20. So you pay 20% on your thing. It's not perfect. So you're going to pay £4 tax. Now you owe £4 tax and you have £2 that you've already paid. So you take the £2 that you already paid off the £4 you owe, and then you pay the £2 difference. That's roughly it. It's not perfect, but it gives you a really good idea. But welcome to life as a tax collector. And this is what you're doing as a business. Guys, if you're here, do drop your questions down below. I can see Professional Inspections has joined, Carol B, and Wealth in the Making. Hey, Wealth in the Making. So yeah, I think the question comes is if you are if you are VAT registered, you are regardless of whether you're VAT registered or not, you're always paying VAT. The real difference is whether you can claim it back off your purchases. But then also you pay VAT to the taxman as well on your income, whereas you don't technically. I hope that kind of makes sense, Dan King. Let me know down below if you're a bit confused. I did a really good YouTube video on it, which is about kind of literally talking you through a non-VAT registered seller and a VAT registered seller, what's the difference, and all the Amazon fees. Just type in how VAT works within Fast Track FBA YouTube channel. I explain it's a really good video. I absolutely love it. Let's kind of go through massive action. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. I'm just going to drink some coffee. Oh, I definitely need some coffee. My God, it's hot today. I'm drinking hot coffee. Whew. I hear in the UK it's about -1 degree C. I feel sorry for people. Sorry. So Massive Action, sales dropped yesterday using PPP repricer. Some people are saying Amazon is playing up, but still sales are showing up. Yeah, I did see something in, I think I saw something in the STK group. So we use STK, and they said something about it, but like we've not really seen a big problem. Like you say sales dropped, but like it must be that it got really affected. Like if it got really affected, because like I don't notice it. And by the way, we have like 1,000 SKUs in the UK, so it's not really a big problem. That's something that I think for you guys, like if you're doing it, like be mindful of 1,000 SKUs. Like you're going to see it, and like we didn't. I can show it to you again if you're interested. Like there's the sales, they're fine. Like there was no big drop yesterday. If anything, they were absolutely fine. I can see that. It's 250,000 in sales this month, so happy with that. But your shelves are still growing. Yeah, agreed. Are you getting a holding company? Yes. If I do property in the UK or US, I'll definitely do it for a holding company. I won't do it for my own name. There's like tax obligations or tax advantages to it. Obviously, if you're an individual who's like not earning too much money, then there really isn't. It costs you more. But if you're earning kind of like more than 50,000 a year, then you probably doing it through a company can be a bit more beneficial, just to kind of like reduce the tax implication. What else have we got here, Mr.? Can I lift this up a second? Ooh, look at that! Now I can sit back. Happy days. So, Mr. Max, do you have any videos on how running some of your STK repricer? So, not hugely. Like, I don't think we do. We do within the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy. So, like, we show you exactly all the settings, everything we do, but we don't do it publicly. Why? Because if you show it publicly, then people are going to go, "Oh, I know who Tom's store is. Here's a video. I know how his rules work. I know how to beat them." So we don't do that. But like, Norm has some really good videos that that they talk about what's happening. That talk about how to use them. So watch them. Definitely, they work. We just kind of play with them, and we're still tweaking it now. There's no perfection. We're still playing around with it. We'll see how it goes. We don't know the answer. And by the way, we've hired someone full time to do nothing but repricing. So they do 4 hours a day in the UK and 4 hours in the USA. And we're even internally talking about, do we hire another person to have 2 full-time repricers? So that means we just pay someone to do it all. But we're doing 7 figures, so it might be worthwhile. So, Sean, let me know if you're going to do STK. Move over. Let me know. That'd be very interesting. Let's go through Dan King. Do you plan to do more wholesale, or are you content with mostly OA? It's a really good question. We did a wholesale in Q3. We stopped it for Q4. We literally came into Q4. We had so much money in the bank, it was scary. Like, to give you an idea, at one point I had £250,000 in cash after we'd spent everything for the week in the bank account. We don't anymore. The team's much better. But when you've got like £250,000 sat in the bank account doing nothing, you're like, Now you might think wholesale is really good for that. You just couldn't find enough product that's going to be worthwhile in the UK marketplace. So I think for me, I'm not saying no to wholesale. We'll definitely look at it again, but I do think it's probably going to be like another 6 months to a year before we reevaluate it again. Like, there's so much opportunity in OA, and I think if anything, we'll probably open up Germany and do it that way. That makes sense. But again, it all comes down to cash flow. Like, because they're separate companies. UK is one company, USA is another one. The net result is that what we're trying to do is we can't move money between them unless it's profits and withdrawn from the company into me personally now, or intercompany loans. But you can't take a loan from Amazon or one company and load it to the other one. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So it's really, really annoying. Dan King, let me know what your plans are. Do you want to do wholesale? Do you want to do OA? I'd love to know. Let me know. By the way, if you guys are doing wholesale OA, let me know. And if there's any content you want me to create, let me know in the content down below. Facebook user has asked a really good question. I absolutely love this. My girlfriend's stealing the fan. No. It's hot today. Really, really hot today. It's all right. Right, let's kind of go through. So, what's your favorite project you're working on at the moment? One of the big projects, Mr. Khan's just joined on Instagram. Just want to say a big hey to Mr. Khan on Instagram. Hey, Mr. Khan, I can see it down there. So if you want to know, one of the big things I'm really working on right now is we're doing some upgrades to the lead service in Fast Track FBA, but one of the other ones that I'm really thinking about more long-term wise is, if anyone knows about my USS Ultimate Sourcing Sheet, that's like, I'm trying to think about where we go next with it. like there's a lot of opportunities. There really are, and I'm really trying to consider like what do I want to do next with it? Do we want to build kind of like a like a P&L software? Do we want to build a restocking software? Do we want to make it kind of more towards like something else whereby maybe it might be like data analytics software for arbitrage sellers? Maybe it might just be integrated with your warehouse or like Amazon, but I'm not really too sure. And I like there's a lot of options to do, but the real question I'm trying to ask is like, where do we bring most value? Where is their biggest need? So I'm not 100% sure. There's a couple of things we are working on as well, like just improving our IP database. We'll see some of the stuff coming out of that. You'll see, obviously, we've just done the SPA, we've just done the API connection to Amazon. So now when you go into our lead service, you'll literally know if you're gated or ungated before you get the lead. We just want to improve that as well. So the idea is that we'll only ever show you deals which are great and which work for you. We'll never show you any deals on our lead service that you can't sell, which I think is a really kind of great opportunity. So really looking forward to that. Mr. Facebook user, let me know if there's anything you're working, you're interested in. And if you want to know within my Amazon business, which I'm sure you're probably interested in as well, what favorite projects to work on there? Really, we're just really refining that system. We've got much better reporting in place, much better control over our staff, the results that they're getting, and now like around the pricing, just getting it right. We just want to make sure the whole system's right. We do have some problems right now around aged inventory. And we're moving from one set of repricing rules to another, which doesn't sound too bad, but when you've got 1,000 SKUs and we want to get through them all, or 2,000 SKUs, I think, on the database, it becomes quite challenging. So that's something that we're doing. And I think the idea comes is that we really want to make sure that that the whole kind of system is working really well within our Amazon business, and we can do it. So if there's anything you think, any projects that I should be working on, or that you'd like me to work on, or that maybe you're working on that you want to share, let me know in the comments down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. Massive Action User, guys, if you're on Instagram, drop me a comment. I can see you. You're here, Instagram. Massive Action User, yeah, got a free trial. SDK, it says repricing. Trying to get settings right. Might try 30% ROI and see how it goes. Yeah, look, long story short, whenever you're changing a repricer, I'll tell you this now. Put your rules up on day one, and then slowly bring them down. Like every few hours, just tweak them. And what you're trying to do is get your sales to balance out with what they were beforehand. I've done it so many times. It's like every time you change your pricer, it's like, oh my God. It's really like we've had massive up, massive down, no sales, whatever. It always does it. It's because even if you set the rules the same, they might calculate the ROI slightly different. So i.e. they calculate too low as you get loads of sales, or they calculate too high, you get no sales. You just want to keep playing with it. And again, you're looking at like profitability, flow of stock, seeing how it goes. And then you're looking at individual SKUs and how they're performing versus other competitors, tweaking the rules. So Sean, let me know how you get on. Like really let me know how you get on. SDK I quite like, but like no reprice is perfect. No reprice is perfect. Dan King, looking to continue OA. So this is in regards to like the previous question, do you plan to do more wholesale or OA? So Dan King said, need coffee. Need to breathe. Looking to continue OA and add, hopefully, evergreen wholesale. I love evergreen wholesale. It's like evergreen replenishables. Like nothing lasts forever. I hate to say it. Even private label doesn't last forever. Into that, but I like it. Obviously wholesale does generally last a lot longer than OA. I don't do like that. Got the issue of no business shipping address. Don't worry. Use a prep center. You can ship to a prep center. I'll tell you a really good trick. RA Limited on Instagram. Just want to say hi. You've just joined. And Mr. Khan, I will get your question in a second. Top tip for you is when you open up a wholesaler, you say, look, this is my. By the way, our office is located here. It's a really bad place to receive goods, so we use a third-party fulfillment center to do all our logistics. Here's the address. Done. Like it's very normal. Like it's absolutely fine. Say, look, we have two offices. We have one which is our office, and the other one which is the warehouse. We use the third-party place. We have we have some people working there in that warehouse. We share it with them. Just say that. It's absolutely fine. You'll be fine, Dan. Absolutely smash it. Mr. Khan over on the Instagram, for some reason didn't show up there. Don't know why. Mr. Khan on the Instagram, I do want to say hi. He mentioned the question is, hi Tom, with the VA service, the salary is separate from the one-off cost. Yeah, 100%. You pay us the one-off cost once, that's it, never pay us again. And then you pay the salary every month, every 2 weeks generally. So not 400 every 2 weeks, 400 a month, so 200 per week, 200 every 2 weeks, and that's it. And obviously, if you have any problems with this is the VA Academy 2.0. If you have any problems with your VA, you pay us the one-off fee, and you pay them $400 a month or $500 a month. And generally, you do that in 2 parts, so you do it twice a month. So like 200 one time, 200 another time. And then the other one is that if you have any problems in the first 3 months, speak to us. We'll either replace, support, whatever you need to do so you're happy. And if you're still not happy, you can get your money back as well. I'll just do it down the bottom here. Fast Track FBA. Oh, that's my cup. Do it down here. fasttrackfba.com/VA. If you're interested, you can book a call in there as well. So you pay us a fee, but the VA works for you. They're your VA, not mine, they're yours. That's a good point. Dan King answered that one. Mr. Khan, let me know if that answers your questions on the live. So AJL, you mentioned your USS, a bit of feedback. The auto API connection for sales restock supports is an amazing upgrade. Fantastic. And it makes the sheet even better than it already was before. Fantastic. Honestly, I really like that. Thank you so much. I'm going to stay there. I want to share a screenshot of that with my team. 2 seconds. I'm going to take a screenshot. Show it because I think it's amazing. It's really, really good feedback. So thank you very much, AJL. And I think like the one thing is hopefully like people are like, what? There's a Google Sheet that has a thing. Like it does really make your life so much easier. And why? Because we understand how the data works within a business, and it really makes a big difference. So just want to give that feedback. 2 seconds. Again, I'm taking my screenshot. I'm going to share it to my team and go, oh my God, check this out. Tag my developers, and let me tag my things and go, oh my God, check this out. I'll tag Kim and Patrick, and if anyone wants to know, Kim and Patrick are the 2 people who support USS. Oh my God, check this out. Ooh, great feedback. By the way, guys, if you've got VAs, or you've got staff, doesn't matter if they're VAs or not, any chance to celebrate success, do it. I cannot stress that enough. It's one of the key principles we always go by. So thank you very much, AJO. AJO, if there's anything else we can do let me know. That'd be really good. Obviously to the USS, I'm still trying to think about where do we want to take it. I've got a lot of ideas. I'm really trying to strategically think out, like make a big point. I think there's a really big point about kind of doing some online element with it, but what that looks like, I'm not 100% sure. What the functionality of that looks like and how that's really going to benefit you. That'd be very beneficial. Facebook user, hi Tom. Hi Facebook user. Let me know how you're getting on. If there's anything I can do with Facebook user, let me know down below. Let's kind of jump through. AJL. Oh, Mr. Khan said, yes, it did. I will book a call with the team. Fantastic. So Mr. Khan is going to, on Instagram, if you're on Instagram, I can hear you. He's going to be booking a call with that way, VA Academy team. You can see what you want, ask some questions directly, or you can just book and pay. Absolutely fine. fasttrackfba.com, down here. Underneath. Right, AJL, upgrade for the US idea. My sourcing VA regularly takes ASINs from the reorder tab and cross-references against the P&L sheet for replenishables. The idea is great, however, a little time-consuming. Yeah, I think you're so right. I think like if I kind of give you a little bit of an insight, a couple of things that I would like to do. Like I would really like to do 2 things. Number one is like really kind of automate the process of showing you what needs to be reordered. But then the other one is I'd like to be able to automatically show you the supplier price on the back end. And then even if we can go one step further and show you other suppliers of it. So we can say, look, this product, sales velocity, what's going on in the market conditions, here's the supplier, maybe like, how the market's changing, kind of do some predictive analysis and then say, look, here are some things we recommend. It's quite complex because you've got to think like formulaically behind and what does that look like. But I think if we can kind of connect the 2 ends, number one is like replenishments, but number 2 is the supply side, and then kind of build it. But then what you've got to realize is that, AJL, you do replenishments a different way to someone else, and the system would need to be able to cater for that. It couldn't be like click a button, generate replenishments, and you're like, I don't agree with the replenishments. So I think that's the point. And then the other one that I do consider for the USS is the fact that you guys quite like the fact that you can export it to an Excel sheet and play around with it and do it. So I think there needs to be an element of whereby you can dump it back to a sheet, do some work with it, and then maybe dump it back online. I don't really know 100%. It's not perfect. Like that'd be my thing. So it's not easy. I'd still be very interested, but I think it's a really good point. So definitely how you do replenishables, I think is a really good thing. Would love to see all this in one tab somehow. Yeah, me too. But my God, it's not the fastest sheet in the world. I won't lie. It does slow down a little bit. Esther, can the VA source or wholesale? I already do RA, but looking to grow now. So if you think about it, like wholesale and OA have a lot of things in common, but the one thing, like what they have in common is the ability to analyze a deal. So whether it's wholesale deal or OA deal, you generally analyze them exactly the same. What's the buy price? What's the product? What's going on? And what's your criteria you're looking for? That's the hard part. Now, in OA, you're going to retailers looking for them, but in wholesale, you're going through a wholesale list. So we've had a lot of wholesalers buy VAs from us. So we don't specifically train them in it, but a lot of wholesalers buy VAs from us because we hire good people who know how to do deal analysis, and they just teach them to go through the list. That's it. And then you, Esther, as a client, will probably feed them lists, and they go through that. So that's the kind of, we see that quite a lot. That's quite a common thing that we get. So we don't specifically train them, but it does work. It does happen. So yeah. Hope, Esther, let me know down below if that makes sense. And AJ, if you've got any more kind of thoughts, let me know. 1 second. Man needs water. Guys, if you're on Instagram, drop a question. I can see you right here. I'm going to say hi. Need water, need coffee, badly. Any recommendations on prep centers? It's a really good idea. One of my options going forward. Cool. Prep centers, check out systematize, get it right, Tom, fulfillment. They're up in like North England. Check out We Prep FBA. They're in like Suffolk area. And then the other one is Fast Pack FBA. So similar to us, but fast pack, not fast track. So 3 prep centers. They're good. They know what they're doing. They've been around for a long time. Generally good communication. So check them out. I know all the owners of them, so I think they'll be good. Systematized fulfillment with Kev Blackburn. I've done many videos, been to his warehouse multiple times. So yeah, I think that makes sense. So let's kind of go through to get past retailers' quantity caps. Do you send it to different addresses or multiple orders? Try both. Like if you can do it to the same address, different accounts, fine. But sometimes you might have to do different prep centers. Sometimes they might ban the prep center. Sometimes, good luck, it's not going to happen. Boots, for example, in the UK, never I'm awful. And if you order more than 3, they're like, account banned. So we just don't bother. Sometimes it's just not worth trying to get around it because you're wasting your life. They really don't want you. They have good protection. So, hey, that makes sense. Right, OP for the USS. Is there ultimate sourcing sheet, guys? If anyone wants to know, this is a product that we offer. You can have a look at a Fast Track FBA ultimate sourcing sheet. So for the USS, is there any way to differentiate the purchases made by Pacific purchaser? Yeah, good point. I think the one thing which I'd probably say, if you look at it right now, you on the kind of buy sheet, when you go across, one of the drop down columns will be, I think, don't quote me, I think it'll be like sourcing methodology. And it's probably hidden, so you might have to expand the tabs. You could just rename sourcing method from sourcing method to purchaser. So you can see not only the VA, but also the purchaser as well. Now, if you want to know how we do it in my business, is we structure our business in teams. So we have it's like when you play football in school. So it's kind of like 2 captains and they pick their teams. So we have purchasers and they have a team underneath them. And they're pretty static. So what we can do is we can just literally look at who the VA is and we'll know who the purchaser is because they're in that team. We don't really change them around because we want the purchaser to work with the VAs to get a better result. So the team structure works. But you can do it in the USS, you can code it in. But I'd reckon most people don't use that. And that's probably why in your SKUs, you'll see a double dash. But not everyone uses the sourcing. So if you don't use it and leave it blank, it will just do double dash in the SKU. It's because between those dashes should be what your sourcing methodology is. Hope that makes sense. OP, let me know down below if that makes sense. Guys, if you're on Instagram, hit me up, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, give me a love heart. If you're on YouTube, TikTok, I don't know, Bumble, Tinder, give me a love heart. I don't think I'm streaming on Bumble or Tinder. It would be quite interesting if I was, if they'd even allow me to. How would that work? Live streaming. I think you people do it. So Zisham, hello everyone. Hey Zisham, good to see you. Let me know if you've got questions down below. Danzen, hey Danzen. Should you avoid products where you have to apply to be approved, to be ungated, or should you try it again? Definitely go for it. Don't try and hide. Honestly, don't avoid them. My God, remember it says, request to be ungated. Every time, click the button. Just click the button. Even if I clicked it yesterday, click it again. Honestly, the reason is Amazon. What it does is Amazon basically has its processes. When you click the button, it goes through some automated checks, and if you meet certain criteria, it doesn't request an invoice. But if you are getting it doesn't request an invoice. But if you don't meet the criteria, then it will request an invoice. But what you might find is yesterday you didn't meet the criteria, so you needed an invoice, and then today, now you do need it, now you don't. And while you're ungated, and now you can sell. So definitely all the time. Like, I made a habit with my team. I was like, guys, every time you see gated, click the button. Or like if you're using a software tool like FBA Multi-Tool by Bot Pro, click the button. Like literally, you want it to say, hey, this is going to be, ungate. So important. I cannot stress that enough. So yeah, don't avoid it. Not a problem. I would proactively go out and find wholesalers, e-distribution in the US, Frontier Co-op, Coles, people have talked about, UK Harrison's Direct. There's loads of them. Jones's Wholesale. Just go speak to them and like find the brand that you're gated in. So simple. When you first start selling, everyone has this idea that gating is a really big problem. Why? Because everyone talks about it, and I really understand that. But what I don't like, it really isn't. Being gated isn't a really big problem. Like most of the things you can get ungated in pretty easy. Just make sure you've got some sales under your belt and you're not like 1-star reviews. You'd be absolutely fine. But Dan's great question. RA Limited FBA. How long are you live for today? Probably about an hour. I need to go get my haircut afterwards. And then I'm going to go meet a friend. We need to do some work. So yeah, probably about an hour. So let me know if there's any questions you want to do. We've got about 25 minutes left, and if you can do that. So Esther, yeah. So I need to get the price list of the DA, and they will check it through. Right? Yeah, 100%. If I give you a top tip, obviously, hopefully you know what you're doing with wholesale. Like I really recommend, don't hire staff unless you know what you're doing. I do OA, but when we did do wholesale, one thing we did do is we knocked a few percentage points off the actual product, and then I told my VA, I said, if it was under 10 sales per month, don't even bother about it. So like I wanted to make sure that the products we were buying had good sales velocity, and I knocked a bit off the price because I thought I'd be able to negotiate it with the supplier. So that's like, if you think you can negotiate with the supplier, fantastic. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Like we've done it, and that's it. You just give your VAs the list, and they'll go through it all. Nate, Esther, let me know down below if that is helpful. So let's kind of go through. Nate has come on, guys. If you're on Instagram, I can see you. Get you here. Drop your questions on Instagram. The Honduran band has joined. Marchia, I hope I got that right. I'm so sorry. Okay, Nate said, any tips on getting my UK seller account reinstated due to issues with identification verification? All the paperwork is sound, but they continuously rotate the reason for denial. I don't know the answer. I would probably, like, if you're going to ask me, what would my advice be for you? Call up, like, go on Google if it's UK. Just do account reinstatement UK lawyers, Amazon account reinstatement lawyers. Call them all. One of them will probably know an answer. Like, I don't deal with this very often, but I'm sure they will. And they'll probably charge you for it, but like at least you get it open. That's the important point. Like, like what if 2 years down the line you meet another person, and you ask that person, said, hey, why, like, you started selling on Amazon, I used to do that. How did you get started? They're like, I used to watch Tom's live on YouTube. And at that time, you stopped because you never made that phone call, never paid the £500. And then, like, they're now a 6-figure seller, and you stopped. And like, don't be that person. Like, this is just a barrier. Business is built about barriers. I promise you that. It's horrible. You do just have to keep going through them. So yeah, give them a call. Google it. Call every single one. Get on the phone. Here's what my problem is. Can you help me? Here's what my problem is. Can you help me? Okay. They'll say, no, sorry, can't. Who can you recommend? Name me 2 people who you can recommend. Call every single person. Keep going through. You just want to know what happens. Does that make sense? If anyone's looking for passion, apparently Pash36.fun is able to find love in your city. Just put it out there. Thanks for letting me know. Really good. Let's jump over. Dan King. Are you getting estimated 25, including prep fees in the UK? So if you want to know, I'll share this. So this is my UK. I shared this at the very beginning. This is my kind of like. By the way, this is not some soft. This is Google Chat, by the way. But this is my report. I'm going to try and get it. Okay, cool. So this is my weekly report that my purchasing managers give me. So if you want to kind of know, they've got there. So Mary has done it. She's given me her actual numbers for today, and then she's given the. Get it right, Tom. She's logging out. What she posted? Oh, it's kind of like. Spend, yeah, she's literally done today, what the team has done overall, the whole sourcing team, and then where we are this week. So this week is going to be, we're looking at estimated ROI 25.6%, which is good. I'll see if I can put it a bit closer, which is good. It's not bad, but I do like, I'm really happy with that. I think, if we hit 25% in our purchases, I'm pretty happy with that. Why? Because when we come to sell with the market conditions that they are, we'll probably make like 20%. And like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm like super rich, like I'm balling. No, we do like 3 million at 20, like 10% margin. It's still like 300,000. We don't make 150,000 out of it. That's that. But we're more about volume selling rather than like maximizing. So 25% includes all prep fees, includes all Amazon fees, VAT, for example. Yeah, 20 is about 25.6 today. The old done 25.6, and they that includes prep and everything. Obviously, it doesn't include VA salaries. It doesn't include like corporation tax. It includes prep, our FBA fees. Hope that makes sense, guys. If you are joining on the Instagram, I do love saying on the gram. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Drop your questions down below. I can see you. I'm right here. Look, this is me. These are your questions. I am reading them. That's a picture of me reading your questions. And obviously I shout them out. I can't put them on the screen, but I do shout them. So yeah, let me know. It's going to go through, I don't know where I'm at. Here we go. Fizzy Jizzy. Hey, Fizzy Jizzy. Hi. When a listing has no suppressed, no buy box, do we need to take FBM sellers into account competition-wise or just focus on FBA? Depends on the SKU, and I think my advice would be just like, I probably would see if you can do it without FBM. The reason is you think of the user journey from an Amazon's customer perspective. They're going to be like, oh, I want this product. It doesn't look like the normal thing. Oh, I can click this button and buy. And then they're going to see, like, I don't know about you, but I think a lot of Amazon customers predominantly focus on Prime shipping because they've paid for it. They want it tomorrow. We're a bit impatient. So they'll probably go over to like, no, I just want the Prime ones. Click that. Thank you very much. Buy. Like, so you can be priced above. You can lose the buy box for a merchant fulfill and still make really good sales because people are going after the Prime product. That does happen. So I would probably it'd be on a case-by-case basis. I'd focus on the FBA, kind of focusing only on against FBA first, then going up. That would be my kind of thought process I would do. So Fizzy Jizzy, let me know if that answers down below. Do Argos provide an invoice? Yes, they do. They're really hard to get hold of. Oh my God, Kosamina 3 is joined. Look. Hey, Kosamina 3. You got to say hey back. So Danzen, they do, but you have to like email them. There's like an email address. I'm not really sure which one it is exactly, but like you message their support. Like we got the email address eventually. What they do ask you to do, they ask you to write in. It's like, who the writes in? And then do you know what they do? They're even better because obviously they're a modern technology company. They mail, send you a mail in the post with the invoice. Still do it today. I'm like, guys, do you know how much that costs? Like to just send a letter nowadays. Let alone the labor cost on top of that and everything else. No, they send you a bloody letter. I'm like, send me an email. Like give me like an online form. How long does it take a developer to build an online form? They don't. Like, no, they send you it in the post. Like it's like I have to get these things, so I'm gonna ask for it. Like they're so bad. But Argos are a right pain. Hope that makes sense. Kosamina 3 has given me a wavy hand. Just want to say, hey, good to see you again. It's like, Tom's live again. Woohoo. Dan King says, how often do you go live? I'd love to catch you again. Super valuable stream. Cool. Glad I could help. If not, I'm a little crazy. Too much coffee. I generally try and go live every day, Monday to Friday. Right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm on holiday next week. I'm going to Cancun, and it's an all-inclusive 5-star hotel. We're paying for it on points. And there's a likelihood that I might miss the odd one because I've had far too much alcohol during the day. So please excuse me if that case. Monday will be the only one that I'm definitely going to attend because I always do that one. So I don't know about you. Would you be working if you were at an all-inclusive 5-star hotel in Cancun for a week? Probably not. So if I don't show up, please don't hate me, but I will try and show up. So I hope that makes sense. Gavik has joined on the gram. Hey, Gavik. Just want to say hey. Good to see you. Let me know if there's anything I can do, answer your questions wise. I'm going to be in Cancun next week, getting a suntan, and definitely not drinking coffee. Let's go, Darren. Hey, Darren, do you provide product sourcing spreadsheet to identify, document, and list products for the USA? 1 second. Okay, I'm just kind of looking through. So you asked this question here, and then also as well based, and then you're also saying based as a beginner, for example, when sending and listing 1,000 products in 1 month, what would be the estimated or expected sell through and potential income goal? It's a good question. You could do it through the USS, but it's not really designed to be working that way. I know what you want. You really want like a wholesale estimator. You want like something like what's it called, like Scan Unlimited, where you basically just get a list of 1,000 ASINs and just throw it in, and it will tell you, like, you give it 1,000 products and the buy price, and it will tell you, it'll get all the fee data, work out the profits, and tell you the sales estimation, and you can work out that. Like, yeah, they do exist. You probably want to look in the wholesale area. Scan Unlimited would be like a good idea of the software you're after. You could do it with the USS, but like I probably wouldn't want to. I don't think it's a very good way of doing it. I think for you, yeah, it'd be wholesale. But like, if you're doing wholesale, fantastic, and it will do it for fine. But like for OA, it's probably not something you need. Generally, OA sellers don't use that. It'll be more wholesale side. So I hope that makes sense. Dan King says, "Not a chance, mate. Enjoy your holidays." Lol. I should enjoy my holidays. My girlfriend's gonna be killing me. Let's go through Kosimina 3. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. I'm gonna get back up to my drop your questions down below. Look, we're on Twitch, or I can do that one. There you go. Drop your questions down below. Kosimina 3 has come back on the gram. I do love it. Gavik has joined as well. Hey, Gavik. Always love these lives. So good. I won't. So good. Plus, Thomas won't be around next week. He said it, but I can't say hi. I'll probably jump on a live with a mojito and a beer. It'll get me out of the sun for an hour. That'd be quite good. I still will do some work, by the way, next week. I'm kind of looking at the only one that I'll probably do a bit of work on is my marketing team. I want to make sure they're happy. But my ops people who manage my companies, like, I'm probably just going to cancel all those meetings. Like, I'll probably just say like, nah, I think it's fine. So like, it's really nice, obviously. And that's the thing. Like, someone talked about, like, hiring a team or building, like doing. We started off this live asking about like what percentage of my business is shoes. And the one thing which I kind of said about it is like, shoes is great, higher ROI, but generally it's a harder thing to outsource and to train. And complexity for me is the enemy. I want simplicity. And the reason is when it's simple, I can hire for it, I can scale it, I can build it. I might not make as much money, but it's easier to manage. And what does that mean? When I want to take time off, I can. And when I do take time off, my business doesn't go down. So you can see, like, these two businesses are going up. Like, my God, shows you how good I am in my business. I do nothing. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. So I hope that makes sense. Obviously, enjoy my holiday. But yeah, Dan King's come back. How does your team keep track of retailers' offers and are the majority of your buys from sales? I don't know. We don't track how many of them come from sales specifically. Like, we're not kind of like, that was a sale, that's not. We just buy it. Like, I think you can get analysis paralysis, like too much data. We know where we buy from, we know the stores, we know the sources, what they do, and we try and really support that. But the one thing, like, we don't look at is it's the things. But by the way, like the USS, we've been talking about it quite a lot throughout this the live. So USS is called the Ultimate Sourcing Sheet. It's a sheet which I developed. I basically, if you really want to know, I first started coding or writing it when I was sat in a Chinese airport on my way to Vietnam, I think it was. That was about 3 years ago. And that was like during Christmas time. And the idea was that when I was thinking about my Amazon business, I was like, my God, we probably spent like, at the time, probably 100,000 in 3 months. I was like, I must have spent some of that money more in one supplier than the other. And if only I knew that information, then I would be able to use that and maybe do a little bit more work. So, or focus in that supplier. And then the other one we were looking at as well was custom SKUs. So what I did is I basically built the USS, the Ultimate Spreadsheet, Ultimate Sourcing Sheet, whereby we started using custom SKUs. And once we did custom SKUs, we could now start seeing like, oh, wow, like, these products are selling, here's where the suppliers are from, we could track them back, we could do so much analytics on it. And as a result, we could just refine and improve our business. And it changed the game. By the way, we built that whole business just off, one spreadsheet, the ultimate sourcing sheet. It has and by the way, it was really good. And then we said, right, how can we make it better? So we made an API connection into Amazon Seller Central. So you have like one-click downloads from Amazon. So you don't even need to download reports. It just pulls it from Amazon directly through our API connection. And then also you click it again, and what else does it do? It will upload to your repricer if you're using SDK, so you have one-click uploads as well. Just little things that make your life so much faster, and the USS just makes it so much faster. And we have an 80-20 sheet, and the 80-20 sheet tells us what suppliers we spent most of our money on and says, go spend more time here. And it will also tell you, like on the dashboard, it will tell you, these suppliers are your top suppliers, but you haven't sourced them for a while, so you might want to source them now. So it's kind of like if you just spend more time with the top suppliers, you'll probably find more deals. That's what we found, and we built it into a sheet. And what's really good about it is it doesn't tell you like what I'm doing. It takes what you're doing and tells you how to do it better, which I really like. So it's always learning. It's just dynamic, and I think that's brilliant. So that's how we keep on track of retailers. But we don't do tracking of sales. But we do tracking of from that sheet I can know exactly every single day, every VA's how much they've spent, and then also I know how much actual profit they've generated in actual sales, not purchases, but sales for each VA. So it really does make a difference. AJL, you mentioned something in my life then about USS uploading SDK. Yeah, as an add-on to the USS, speak to Patrick and Kim. It's basically a one-click add-on. You just get the API connection from SDK. We've got an integration. You can literally one-click it, upload all the cost of goods. Or I think there's another. You might have to do two. So the one-click cost of goods is done, and then there might be another. You have to do it two add-ons. The other one I think is the min-maxes. So you can do that as well. So when you buy your products, you can go into the USS, and you can, as when you buy it, you can put the bins in as well into the USS, and then when you upload them, it'll push up the cost of goods, it'll push up the min maxes, set the rule. I think it is you can choose the rule you want to kitchen to, and you don't have to upload and download files. You just click done, and it'll do it for you. It's really good, really good. So it does make a big difference, and it really helps out. And again, speeding yourself up. So yeah, AJL, let me know if that helps out. FBA Gangster, what's up? He calls me Mr. Bean. Some people others call me Mr. Bean. Yeah, they have a very expression face. What's the best category? The one that makes the most money for you. That's the best category. A lot of people do shoes in the US, like massive money in shoes. The guy I know doing 10 million in shoes. Incredible. But even by his own admission, he said, I'm trying to get away from shoes because everyone seems to be doing shoes and we're losing margin. So I think that's a really important point. So, I think I think that's a really important point. So again, the best category is the one that works for you. That's got to be the most important point. So yeah, let me know what your best category is, FBA Gangster. I'd love that. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. Gotham has joined. I just want to say hi to Gotham. If you're on Instagram, I can see you. You're down here. Well, hey. So honestly, do let me know. Let's kind of go through. So where are we now? Dan King, do you create any listings yourself, like bundles, for example? No, we don't. We don't do listings ourselves. The reason why is when you start creating your own listings, you're really getting into what I would consider a blend between wholesale and private label space, creating your own listings. And again, what I want to do is create simplicity. Now, if I'm the one creating listings, that means it's another job that I can't give to someone else. But if I'm literally buying something easy from Asda or Walmart or Argos, selling it on Amazon, that's just easy. We have 3 roles in my business: admin, sourcer, purchaser. I can scale that. That works. I can scale that to 3 million, 1 million there. So simple. Product listing is like photographs, SEO, optimization, keywords. That's a whole nother, just photographs and SEO. It's a whole nother skill set. That's another complexity to my business. So we don't do it. Again, we keep it simple. By the way, people are going to talk to you down and say you should sell on eBay, you should sell on Europe, for example. We don't do any of that. We literally just this business here, 3.4 right now. we just sell on Amazon UK, no eBay, no European, no nothing. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but like the one thing I really believe in is simplicity. I want my life to be simple. Why? Because if you're doing listings, if you're doing eBay, if you're doing Europe, if you're doing, I don't know, maybe some wholesale, maybe some OA, maybe like you're like, cool, I've got this great business, it's got loads of things. But you're like, no, it's just more points at which if someone's off sick or someone quits, you have to be the one who jumps in and does work. And I'm like, I'm not here to build a business so that I have to work. I'm here to build a business so I can make money. Like there is a big difference. And when I make strategic decisions in regards to like the direction of my business and where we go, it's always about, can I hire more than one person to do this job and will it scale? Because if someone's off sick, then the other person does it. But if there's only one person doing it, that means I've got to do it. I'm not here to do it. I want to go spend the time in Cancun. You told me to enjoy my holiday. I'm going to quote you. That's what I'm going to tell you. Enjoy your business. Don't build yourself another job. Let's go quickly through. FBA Gangster, it says, you think shoes are best on Instagram? No, I think the one that works for you. I think if I'm going to tell, people are going to start Instagram, by the way, right here. If people are going to get started on Germany, then, Germany, so I just saw another one coming. If they are going to get started, then I think shoes are like okay. They're a bit complex. There's a lot of mistakes. I'd probably recommend doing shoes after like 6 months because you can make so many variation mistakes. There's so many problems you can get. I think you should probably just take some time, like do some normal, boring RA. Learn how to read the keeper chart first before you jump into it. That'd be my advice. Another one that came in, Kosamina3 said, I know you love simplicity. Have you ever thought about selling in Germany on the big market? Apparently, second biggest market in the world, I believe, bigger than UK. Yeah, 100%, Mike. I really do. I wanted to do it this year. I'm very vocal in my YouTube channel about doing it. But the one reason why we didn't is there was so much we were not doing in the current marketplaces. And again, it comes back to like, I'm going to spread myself thinner. I'm going to be doing more work. So if I were to start selling in Germany, that'd be a problem. Maybe next year, and I say maybe very loosely, I think we could easily take this to over 5. We could take this to 2, 3. Like, and I don't know about you. Like, I think the question I ask you: would you rather have 3 marketplaces, or would you rather be doubling your profits? When you start any market or new business, it's going to be really like hard. It takes a thing. So. I think that's a really important point. So simplicity is my key. Simplicity is key. Fantastic. Let's kind of jump back over to the thing. A couple of questions. AJL, excellent, booking a call now. Fantastic. Yeah, speak to Patrick. He will absolutely help you out. Yeah, we do it. Really. One second, I'm about to sneeze. Second sneeze. Hashtag not COVID. I got vaccinated. Darren, what is your main activity? What is the main activity? I say my main activity. Talking to you guys. What is the main activity as a beginner that is expected daily with your systems? Buying stock. That's it. Buying stock. Generally speaking, as long as you're not making bad buys, you're going to be fine. If you're buying good stock, you're generally going to be right. So, it's going to be like, I talked about this before. Let me give you measures of success. Like, what do we measure? What's important? So, at a fundamental level, the business model online arbitrages, really even wholesale as well. You've got money in the bank. Your job is to convert that money into stock. So you need to find deals. The more deals you can find, the better, until you've run out of money. And your goal every week should be this: get all the money in the bank, minus off the bills that I need to pay for this week and next week, then convert all of that into stock by buying stock. Get that stock shipped to Amazon as quickly as possible for as cheap price as possible, whilst maintaining standards, and then get it sold within 90 days. That's it. And then repeat the process. That's all we do every week. Every week is like, literally, I look at my business, I'm like, right, how much money have I got in the bank? And by the way, I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you here. But this is the report from this week, by the way. I showed it to you earlier on. So it talks about this week's total. Total purchase value is like 70,000. I'll see if I can get it really close so you can kind of read it. It's on my keyboard. So this is like 70,000. You can see it here. Then expected profit is 17. But look down the bottom. It says total cash left that we need to spend. It's about £74,000. So every single week, my team are being told how much money we have in the bank to spend. So my admin team have already taken out all the bills for this week and next week, and they're saying, hi guys, we've got this much money left. Then every single day, my sourcing team go and find as many deals as I can. My purchasing team take that money, convert it into stock, buy the deals my sources do, and every day they work out how much more money we've got left for the rest of the week. And that's it. We just keep doing that every week. And then the other part is my admin team get it shipped into into Amazon as quickly as possible. And then the final ones, we have like a repricing person, part of the admin team, and just make sure we get it sold. That's it. Very simple. That's all we're doing. Process, simple. My God, complexity is the enemy. Alex Omrosi says, simple scales, fancy fails. Hope that makes sense. Do you have a minimum profit per unit, even if your ROI is above 25%? Yeah, I probably won't go above below £1 per unit, I think, or $2 in the US. But again, it's got to be fast selling. So I'm not really looking at low value. We generally do things above £20 sale price in the UK and about $30, $40 in the US. That's a general rule of thumb. Question: how do you pack fabric softener? I brought a few to get engaged, not sure how to send it into Amazon. Bubble wrap in a box, possibly. By the way, you don't actually have to send it in. You could just use it. It's going to be one of these products oh, it went missing. Absolutely fine. So, and then I will jump onto Instagram for a second. Darren says, what's your estimated expected sell-through percentage? Because it isn't scaling based on you just having enough credit. Why not don't scale? If we can't grow 100% sell-through, is that even possible? I think I need to be careful, what do you mean by sell-through? Do I expect to sell all of my stock? Then yeah, 100%. Of course, if I didn't, then I'm always going to have stock left over. And even if you had 5%, 95% sell-through rate and 5% less, that means I'm just going to have 5% every month left in. That 5% is going to really add up when you start doing $250,000 a month. It really makes a big difference. Put that in percentage terms, it's going to be £5,000 to £10,000 worth of stock a month just sat there. Wow, that's going to eat my bottom line. I wouldn't do that at all. Even if we have to take a loss on the stock, we will take a loss, but we will sell that stock. Because even taking a loss on the stock is better than not having the money back at all, or money tied up in stock. It's not worth it. I just saw your question down here. So if you send in 1,000 products and only 100 sales, but you're looking at in a 1 month period. No, they might sell the next month. So we generally look at 90 days as a period. Some things might sell a bit 92 days. But no matter what, we'll play with the price and get it sold. One thing we do make sure of, we don't buy products that don't sell. They always sell, it's just at what price is the question. Don't buy products that don't sell, because that doesn't matter. I'm going to make $1 million, you've all seen it. Buy for £10, selling on Amazon for $1 million. You're no, it's a lie, don't do it. It's never going to sell at that. It's never going to sell. Period. It's just someone's put the price up high. So our job is they always sell. So and I think Warren Buffett talked about it. We're not looking to get rich. We just want to make an honest buck. And our job is to Warren Buffett rule number 1: don't lose money. Rule number 2: don't lose money. So what we're trying to do is buy deals whereby there's no real downside, but the upside's okay to great. But if it's just okay, we'll take it. Absolutely happy days. Let's kind of go through. I appreciate I'm over time, so I'm going to go really quick because I need to go do some stuff. So what have we got here? Bless you. Double Cosamina 3 said double profit for sure. I completely agree. And then go for it. Keep us posted. Love to hear about it. Yeah, got to. People changing the shoe variation pictures after buying inventory. No, absolutely pain. Hence, but shoe variations are a real nightmare. So it really does cause a problem. Let's kind of go through, what have we got? So JC, hey mate, I'm only at 17 minutes, not able to open my account at the minute, learning all about the business, just starting to do online art product research. Any tips while I'm 17? I'll tell you a top tip, just start sourcing, legitimately start sourcing and sell your deals to other people. Because by the time you hit 18, you're going to be fine. Or ask your dad to open an account and find deals for his account and trade through that. I know a lot of people in the US do that process. At 16, they're making $500,000 a year. It's crazy. So you can do it. Just it's other people. Yeah, done that one. Check Facebook, Simon. I will do. Thank you very much. What are your must-have tools? Software for beginners in the UK RA wholesale can make searching and sourcing a bit easy. OARA and wholesale. My God, that's like saying what are your must-have tools for landing on the moon, going swimming, and eating noodles. It's not that bad. But the idea is that they're quite different. So I'll just do OA because that's what I do. I just think must-have tools, probably like Keeper and Seller Amp. That's it. I think you probably need a repricer. We use FTK. That's about it. Oh, and then what's the other one that tells you, Amazon DS Quick View? I think that's one. That's free. Yeah, not really many. That's it. Hope it makes sense. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's past the hour. My time block has finished. If you've got any other questions, I will join you same time tomorrow. Stay safe, everyone. Keep smashing it. Q4 is here. We are seeing the sales coming in. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Give me some love heart that the sales are coming in. Woohoo! Let me know. And obviously, I'll catch you same time tomorrow. Bye.